Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dry Heat with Mike Davis here in the Den, FOX5 Studios. I am with one of my favorite people. He scares the crap out of me most of the time. That's how I first became infatuated with this man. But Jason Egan has been a fixture here in our community, I believe since 2001 is when you moved. You're an Omaha, Nebraska guy.
That is correct. I moved here and I was looking for places. I'm like, I went to school in Lincoln and had a haunted house in Lincoln, Nebraska. And I was like, it wasn't good enough for me. I loved it, don't get me wrong, but it was a town of like 200,000 people. And I'm like, I need somewhere big. This isn't going to work for me. I want something big. I want to put myself on the map. And I had researched all these cities across the country. I was traveling, and I found Las Vegas. And I'm like, oh, there's no haunted houses here. There's really, it's the city's young. It needs help. So I came out to Las Vegas. I picked up and moved. I actually made a ton of money off of a stock. It was purchasing a stock IPO. So back in those days, you could buy any tech stock, and if you could get a hold of it, it would go to the moon. I mean, it was insane. So I bought a tech stock one day, and I had barely any money in my name. And the broker's like, spend $3,500 on this, Jason. I can get you this IPO. And I think it's called Avanex at the time. And I'm like, okay. And I made like $40,000 overnight. And I had never had $40,000 to my name. So I'm like, I made $40,000 overnight. And I'm like, oh my God. And I sold, because my guy's like, sell, sell, sell. So I sold. Good idea to sell. And I picked up and moved out to Las Vegas. Got a house here. Got a coveted job, the valet parking job, which back in the day.
Was that your first job?
It was my first job here.
Where?
So it was at MGM Grand. So, and go figure, they were my partners for 15 years after that, after we started Fright Dome. But so I got a coveted valet position, started over there, and then I moved over to the mansion, which is incredible. So I was the only valet parker at the mansion. I sweet talked myself into there somehow. And then I moved to Bellagio. This is all over like a year and a half time period at the most. And then in 2002, I started my first real haunted house here. So it was crazy.
It's crazy because, Fright Dome at 23, I believe, is when I researched. You struck a deal with MGM to launch Fright Dome. It became a fixture here at Circus Circus. But I first moved here about 6 years ago, 2019, and I became familiar with you because of all these experiences that you would have, these immersive experiences like Saw Escape.
Yeah, you were here of Saw first.
Saw was, that's where I almost got in trouble with some of my bosses because of how frightened I was. Good. I mean, that's how, because listen, if you love horror here in our community in Las Vegas, you go to a crazy level. And that's why we're here in the studio. We're going to get to all the great stuff you're doing now, because I'm not the biggest horror guy, but I love John Wick. And you have this John Wick experience now at Area 15. We'll get to that. But what's so fascinating about you is you're so, listen, we've all been to haunted houses in our life, right? Growing up, Halloween, you go to your neighbor down the street that really goes all out or anything. You took haunted houses to a cinematic level. And that's why it makes so much sense. You were able to strike deals with Lionsgate, from It to, Saw to, you even did something, Blair Witch, Hunger Games. So you've done a lot of these different types of things. Did you always want to be, even before the valet, was it always about haunted houses, or did you want to be a film director? Did you want to be an actor? What was your first time and growing up becoming infatuated with films?
I was always a creepy little kid. I mean, I didn't look like it. I'm like a wolf in sheep's clothing, so I was always a creepy little kid. You'd see me on the lineup. So back in the day, we were able to dress up on Halloween, in elementary school and stuff. And you could always pick me out on a lineup. They'd be like, oh, there's Freddy Krueger walking down the hall as a fifth grader and stuff. So I would dress up, for our Halloween dress-ups and stuff. And it was so much fun. There was Jason as the Phantom of the Opera. You see, all these are kids as superheroes, nice little princesses in good costumes and stuff. And then you'd see me and you could pick me out a mile
So Jason
away.
Egan was just always into that stuff. And you would they be scared? I mean, would you be super scared to go to like a ridiculous level for like a Halloween, experience as a youngster? Or would you just kind of, was it like Jason Egan Productions level stuff even at like 15? Or
it was crazy. I did better stuff at 15 than professionals do now. I mean, it was nuts. And I love scaring people. Still to this day, I scare the living heck out of people. I mean, we do. I thoroughly enjoy it. I mean, it gets their blood flowing, gets them cussing at me, whatever. It's so much fun. I mean, I've scared celebrities. I've scared Dana White. I mean, I've scared so many fun people.
Why do you like that so much?
It's just fun. People love seeing people get scared, and it gets that adrenaline flowing. I mean, it's a quick way to wake someone up too.
It really,
it's so much fun. It puts a smile on their face. The occasional one, like, oh, I scared my mom. It's not a good idea.
Right.
Not a good idea. She will. Yeah.
What other celebrities have you frightened?
So I've scared a lot of the UFC fighters before. Floyd Mayweather's come through multiple times. Oh my gosh, who else? Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Stevie Wonder came through. With one of my Fright Dome days, he came through. Michael Jackson. I mean, that was, oh my God, Michael Jackson. Because I was a big, huge Michael Jackson fan. Still, he's an amazing performer, probably one of the greatest of all times. I got a phone call at Circus when I was there running Fright Dome, and they said, Jason, Michael Jackson's downstairs. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I thought they were playing a fast one on me, like it'll lock me out or something. I don't know. So they're like, Jason, you need to get down here right now. And I'm like, if I come all the way down there and there's no Michael Jackson, I'm going to be really angry. And lo and behold, there's Michael with all the limousines lined up and stuff, and just completely surprised us. And I'm like, oh my God. And I get to tour him through the nicest person.
So hold on.
And he had both of his kids with. The kids were dressed as Spider-Man. I believe he called Blanket at the time. He was dressed as Spider-Man. And then Paris was dressed as Little Princess.
Blanket was there, and he was dressed as Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And Paris was there as well. So do you just shut down, like you shut down the whole place, or does he just experience it?
We ran it as normal with his huge security team. We ran it as normal. I took him through, and his security was amazing with me. I mean, probably one of the most memorable things in my life. But then we also had Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne come down and go through a special trip just to go through my Halloween event. They came through a special trip. Sharon was originally going to be just Sharon, and then Sharon's people call and say, do you mind if we bring Ozzy? And I'm thinking to myself, no, please do. I mean, the King of Darkness, absolutely. So Ozzy came down, had a blast. And it was almost like, remember Johnny Carson, the comedian would go up, do his performance.
And he'd call him over to the couch. Then it would get a stamp of approval.
Absolutely. So that was kind of like Sharon and Ozzy when they came through. And then afterwards, Sharon's like, Jason, I really want you to go to dinner with us so we can chat further. We love this. This was great. And I'm like, yeah,
So you went to dinner with them?
We went to Caesars, went to dinner, and they did not have a private room. They stuck us in the middle like a display, and in the middle, and that was insane. Going
what do
with
you
Ozzy
think?
And Sharon.
Because I have my reasons on why you're so good at what you do, and I think you probably wouldn't guess what I would say, but I'm curious how you define your success, and why do you think people are making their way to come out and share these experiences with their family. People like Michael Jackson, who can get whatever he wants for his family. Mm-hmm. Stevie Wonder's blind.
Yeah, absolutely. He went through and he asked, he's like, Jason, can I touch the actor's face? I wanted to feel what they, so I said, the actors on the radio, they're like, absolutely.
Was he still scared even though he was?
Oh my God, he had the best time. Best time. Paris Hilton's been through multiple times. Absolute
So
sweetheart.
What is it? Why are you at such a high level, and these people who can experience anything they want on the face of the earth, they come to see the Jason Egan Experience? What is it about what you're doing and the production you're putting on?
Hard work, and I don't take no for an answer. And we give everything we do 110%. That is truly what it takes. Give everything 110%. Because I run into people all the time. I even look at, when I'm going and making a proposal for something, that job that I want, we will go the extra mile. And I've been in front of mega studio executives and stuff that have just been blown away by a little old Mayan presentation. That's what we do. I've sat in front of, like I said, the best of the best studios, and we will go the extra mile. And the reason I do that is because when I present something to them, and if they say no, at least I know I did everything in my power to give the best presentation before just sticking them with a Word document. I've done videos. I've done rented out facilities for presentations. We went insane with it, and it's just giving it your best, doing it, researching it, and surrounding yourself with a good team as well too that has that same mindset, because that's so important. I'll tell it to anybody, like anything you do, you should give it your best. You really do. If you believe in it, but if you're not giving it your best, then you're doing something wrong. You don't want to do that job anymore. If you're just going in there like it's just a job, even if you work, anywhere, whether, I always say it, I'm like, if I was working at Starbucks, I would want to give the best cup of coffee I possibly could. You know what I mean?
But it's also your level to detail. Mm-hmm. And that's why, like, when I got wind that you won Dr. Pepper for your interview, shout out to Megan Fazio, I was like, I'm going to do it for Jason Egan. Would I do this for every guest? No. But I would do it for Jason Egan because I got wind you wanted blackberry or strawberry Dr. Pepper. And I was like, you know what? this is a guy, having been to your experiences, I'm like, you're a guy who appreciates detail. So I'm going to try to match Jason Egan's
And I will
level.
remember this. I will remember this. And that, you didn't have to, but
No.
we're friends. This was awesome. And, that was exciting, so, and say, but I'm going to do on Megan's show too. And she's got to get me nothing but cakes. So
okay, so that's a little bit more.
No, because that's what happens too. Because the amount of work that I do put in these attractions, I'll lose weight going into them. I mean, there was one time I dropped like 25 pounds, and I don't have 25 pounds to drop going into a Fright Dome season. You can see a picture of myself and Kevin Hart. Yeah, because I want to make sure, and that's something that's really important too. Appreciate the customers, and I tell our staff this all the time. I mean, these people, they come to Vegas to have choices. All this entertainment. They could go to the Sphere. They could go wherever they want. They chose to come spend their time with us that evening. So give them an amazing show. They're spending their hard-earned money with us.
Yeah.
And that's so important. I mean, in like I said, with stuff that's going on in the world, not interest rates and everything else. I mean, it's people are spending their money with us, and it's not. I mean, my attractions aren't cheap. They're not not a show at the Sphere, but they're still not cheap. So I want people to get the best show possible. I want to see that was always something important to me. Whether it be a Halloween event or whatever event, I want to see the smile on their face when they come out, and that they enjoyed themselves. I mean, I heard it today as we were running John Wick for all these amazing people, and they just loved it. They had a blast with it, and you really have to care in the product that you put out. And when I stop caring, is when I know I shouldn't be doing this anymore. When I want to, I should do something else, or maybe I should retire. I don't know, but I care in everything we do. And then I have a gift. I don't know if it's a gift and a curse. But I could walk through your studio, and I'm sure that it's amazing. But I could say, "Oh, this is out of place. This is, I'm not OCD, but I obsess with things being perfect as possible. Now, nothing's ever going to be perfect, but you want to get it as close as that as possible."
Are you like you're a very fascinating guy, because I've been around you a little bit from interviews. Are you like OCD? Are you on the spectrum a little bit? No, you're not any of that stuff.
Just want it to be the best possible for our guests. That's truly, like I said. And then when people let down, and you can tell when they're starting to slack a little bit. It's like, oh, my uniform's not perfect, and it's like this is Las Vegas. Like, we are the entertainment capital of the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we've got big competition, and the guests have high expectations. They're going to Vegas. They're expecting it to be amazing. So that's what we want to give them.
How have the expectations shifted and evolved over the years since 2001 with Fright Dome and all that kind of stuff? How has it changed and evolved from then to now with the John Wick Experience? Has the competition become more fierce? What are the nuances and the expectations of customers, and how have they evolved?
Well, I would say the competition has become more fierce, because we have, like I mentioned, we have things like the Sphere, which are amazing spectacles. We've got amazing artists coming into this town every night. That didn't happen back in 2002, 2003. We didn't have Katy Perry on stage, nonstop. I mean, all these amazing performers. So now I'm competing with these megastars and stuff. So there's a lot of tickets to be sold tonight. So I have to cut through the crap and make sure that we're the best that we can possibly be, because that's who I would consider my competition is now, is all those. I mean, I know our experiences are the best and some of the best in the world. I mean, we've got the highest ranked experiences.
I mean, you took Fright Dome to Hong Kong. I mean, you went international.
Oh, absolutely. And, like I said, that was an amazing event. It was just a series of unfortunate things. I mean, keep in mind, when my last year was when that shooting happened at Mandalay Bay. And that was our last year. I mean, that crushed our event, because we opened on September 29th. That shooting happened on October 1st. We got crushed that year. Yeah. And then shortly after, go figure, Circus then sold, and that was it. So my lease didn't get renewed, and but when one door closes, another one opens, and I think the guys at Circus are amazing. Phil Ruffin's team is amazing. And of course, we've had conversations back and forth, but
about returning.
Yeah, and I don't think it'll ever will. I really, not by me, because I really thoroughly enjoy these year-round permanent attractions. It's not enjoyable to go set that thing up in 30 days, 45 days. That took a lot out of me, and it's going to take a lot out of anyone, because that's a lot of work. And we did it successfully. Ran so many people through there. And safely. So that's another thing, go out on top too. My uncle represents Jerry Seinfeld, and has for the past 20 years. And that's the
Really?
that's the Jerry Seinfeld method of, and when he sold his TV show when it was on top, he was offered a sick and twisted amount of money to do another season, but he's like, I want to sell when it's on top, and we were on top of our game.
Wait. Because I was going to say, it's so weird you just mentioned his name. You remind me a lot of him. That's why I thought maybe
he's
the
a
Spectrum
workhorse
stuff.
No, he's
because you're very
workhorse.
Detailed, and he's a workhorse, and he's always prim and proper and on time. Like, so your uncle is his manager or agent?
So he's his live show producer. So he produces all his live shows for the past 20 some years now. So every live show he's done, Jerry's an amazing, amazing guy. My uncle Kevin has been, like I said, with them for that many years and produces all of his live shows. And Jerry works, perfects his craft. I mean, other people in town, David Copperfield, a friend of mine, he is a perfectionist with things on stage and stuff. Sometimes it'll take him, I don't want to quote him, but it'll take a long, long time for him to incorporate a trick on stage because he wants to make sure it's perfect for the audience, because he genuinely cares. So I love meeting those. Hey, Megan, my publicist on this, she's good. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I hope she doesn't raise her rates after this. I'm probably gonna get a bigger bill now. You know what I mean? So
she's one of the best PR people in Vegas.
And that's why you can tell she works and works and works. And I love being with like-minded people like that too.
So what is it? What is that quality? If people are at home are like, man, I want to be successful like Jason, and nothing is given to you. You started as a valet guy, Nothing. So tell me, what is it? What is that quality? If we were in athletics and sports and we were gonna, what could this traverse? All different industries and fields. What is that one ingredient? If it's the one ingredient that makes Dr. Pepper Dr. Pepper. What is the ingredient that would make somebody successful? Whether you're Seinfeld, whether you're Copperfield, whether you're Jason Egan.
Practice makes perfect. I always tell people, I'm like, I still make mistakes to this day, but I make a hell of a lot less of them now than I made 20 years ago. But it's practice, it's trial and error, it's getting up to bat. That's the first. You have to get up to bat. Otherwise, you don't know if you're going to make a hit or not. You have to get up to bat. I always tell people this, whether we're negotiating ads or whatever we're doing, I'm like, I'm going to ask, because the worst thing they could say is no. What's going to happen? They're going to say no. Oh, well, then we go up to bat. We get up to bat again. So practice, and really do something that you genuinely care about. Like, I thoroughly enjoy what I do.
I mean, dude, it's insane.
I'm sure you enjoy what you do.
Yeah,
great.
Of course.
I love this. This is fun.
Carson, Letterman, those were the people, Howard Stern, those are the people that informed and made me want to do what I'm doing. And that's why I feel the same way. It's like it's nuts. Your job, to a degree, you can extrapolate a little bit, but it's basically when you were 15 and you loved and you got the juice of feeling of scaring somebody and dressing up as Freddy Krueger. That's what you do as an adult.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like me. In fourth grade, I knew I wanted to be a talk show host. Same kind of thing.
And that's amazing. And you're doing what you love. And that's what I love to hear these stories too, because what's the old saying, if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. Well, that's not necessarily true. We're working, I've worked long hours, but I love doing this. And my mom was always like, go to school, become a lawyer, blah, blah, blah. And that's like, nah, I couldn't imagine, I didn't want to do that. I don't want to sit in courtrooms. I could imagine that would just wear on you. I know a ton of people with tons of money, and sometimes they're not even happy. It's not all about money. It's about doing what you love, and
fulfillment.
And doing and expanding and doing, like when Lionsgate brought the John Wick project to me, I'm like, would you like to do something like this? I'm like, yeah, I love the films. I mean, part 4 was incredible. The characters were so amazing in that film. I love the franchise. Keanu Reeves, I have not met him yet, but he's amazing in these movies. I mean, he's, it's just an amazing franchise, and Lionsgate has killed it with that franchise.
Let's talk about this, because I have 9 million questions. So first of all, if you're not familiar with Jason Egan and Jason Egan level productions, this guy, the level of detail, and that's why I had to have the Dr. Pepper here for you, because even for it, like, I think there was like a sequence in the film where part of it takes place at like a Chinese restaurant.
Yep.
And like, I'm doing live shots with this guy on Fox 5, and we're in the Chinese restaurant, and it looks like you're in the Chinese, like the detail to just the menu.
There was food. There was literally food that we clear coated to make look real.
So it's like really immersive. And there's a joke, a lot of us amongst Fox 5, my peers, we crack up because almost every pitch we get from a PR person now uses one word. Can you guess it?
No, I can't.
Immersive.
My God!
It's the one word that is.
They abuse it. They abuse it, and
the
they
most
abuse it.
It's the most abused word in
It's so bad.
It's like Applebee's 2 for $20 entree deals. It's an immersive experience. Like everything is immersive now.
Yeah,
but I hate.
But mine truly is. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, mine truly is, and it's so. Oh my God!
It's a shame though, because other people abuse the word, but your stuff really is. If we're talking Merriam-Webster dictionary, term, it really is immersive. But John Wick. But zillions of questions for you because I'm not a horror guy at my core like you are. I just don't interact with the genre too much, right? John Wick. I want to say a 4-letter word. It is my thing. I love John Wick. From the first movie on, this film, from a production, from a directing standpoint, the director Chad is this guy who used to be a stunt coordinator. He was a stunt performer. So there's an element to the action that is tremendous. The storytelling is superb. Even though there's very little dialogue, it's just gripping. Keanu Reeves is tremendous. So they've done 4 films, and each film just gets progressively more and more interesting. The first one's a perfect movie. I think it's the perfect action movie.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It sets the stage.
Sets the stage, the stakes. Everything is just great, and there's just no, a lot of the genius is the fact that you're just killing everybody. There's no we're gonna let it slide. He just murders every single person.
Look at the actors they have in the movies too. Halle Berry, Bill Skarsgård. Incredible actors are in these films. I had the opportunity to meet Halle Berry. Yeah, so amazing. I mean, these actors are so good, and Chad is one of the best, if not the best, director in Hollywood for action. He's incredible.
So bring us here. So JohnWickExperience.com. It's going down at Area 15. You got to go get tickets now. Go to JohnWickExperience.com. The cool thing is you basically constructed in that universe. They have this hotel that is kind of like a place where all these assassins can basically co-mingle and habit. They can be together and not worry so much that bad stuff is going to happen. Of course,
no
sometimes
business conducted on the grounds of the Continental.
Right.
Yep, no business conducted.
So you kind of took that concept and applied it to Area 15. So we're becoming a part of the John Wick world. Break it down for us.
So they gave us an outer building, which was great because we wanted to do an incredible facade on the experience, and it looks gorgeous when it's all lit up at night. It is stellar. So we took a corner building. It's 13,000 square feet, and we created our very own Las Vegas Continental. I mean, it's incredible. And then, so we've got 2 bars in there. One, you can go just to hang out. You don't have to have a ticket.
You could just go to the bar.
Absolutely, and it's a gorgeous, luxurious bar. Once you step foot in those front doors, you feel like you've just went into a Continental. It's incredible, and we've done our own twist on the Continental. So it's our own Vegas Continental. We didn't reproduce another Continental. It's already in the universe. That was something very important to Chad and Lionsgate is we created our very own Vegas Continental and gave it its own identity, which is really, really cool. And, like I said, it's about a 15-room experience, and it's about 50 minutes long. It's incredible. I mean, it's so good. The actors are so good. I mean, from the wardrobe to the actors to even the Continental pin on their, on their jackets. I mean, it's incredible. That's something we really pride ourselves in. Like we talked about the detail, it feels like you really went in. And when you meet our concierge, when you go in, you feel like you've just transformed into the Continental. You just went into it. So, I mean, it's really, really cool. But and this one's not an escape room. It's a combination of it's a theatrical experience. It's got some escape room elements. It's again, we're going to use the word immersive, but it really is, like I said, from the dictionary definition. I mean, it's really, really, really good.
This is the first thing that you've done, the first thing with the Jason Egan stamp that I feel is made for me. So that's why I'm very excited to go check it out.
We also brought down, so it's like, from everything, from training the actors, a friend of mine created the show Sleep No More in New York City. It's an incredible, if anybody invented immersive, it was Randy Weiner, and he is an incredible producer. And he did this show, Sleep No More. I think it lasted 15 years in New York. And you would go into this McKittrick hotel, and you'd put on a mask, and like a masquerade mask, and you couldn't talk when you're going through the experience. And you would go into the experience, and it was like you were a part of the play. It was incredible. Wow. Like, he was really the pioneer in immersive. And so I called Randy. I'm like, hey, Randy, I need some help, with getting actors trained up. Your actors are some of the best I've ever seen in my life. So he sent me one of his main people, Mallory, and she came down and she trained for weeks with these actors. It's not just about training them for 1 day, 2 days. We train for weeks.
Yeah, you expect a lot of your employees, you know, and I always, and it's like, and you create a great work environment, but every time I've been around you on live TV and the actors and the elements that are at play, even if it's behind the scenes, people in front of the scenes, you know, it's people, like, you really put people in a position to care about their job. It's not just like having a gig, you know.
Exactly, and you're exactly right. It's
because a lot of horror, you know, an escape room, it could just be a gig to pay the bills.
And my mentor, you know, he passed away a couple of years back. He owned a haunted house, and he called it a haunted theater called Mystery Manor. And he would always tell me early on, this was when I was a kid, he'd say, Jason, always remember this. You can create the coolest sets in the world, but it all boils down to your actors. Your experience is only as good as your worst actor. So you have to make sure you have
these
good
guys
actors.
Commit. They don't break. Because I tried to get them. Like I would try to get them.
They're so good. And so that's something I always remember in everything we do, to have great talent. It's so important. Treat your talent well, you know, and give them the tools they need. My scene and you know, the experience around them are the tools. But again, that's why we brought Mallory in, you know, from Sleep No More, to make sure that she could train them. Because I'm like, what do we align ourselves with most? Like what kind of performance? Right. And that was Sleep No More, so that's why we brought her in, and she did an incredible job.
Who was your mentor who passed away? Who was this guy?
Wayne Seeley. So he owned Mystery Manor Haunted Theater.
Where was that?
In Omaha, Nebraska.
So this is where you grew up. So this was your mentor.
This guy was so amazing. So I went to his haunted house as I was a kid. It had a 3-story slide in the end, and he cared so much about it. It was incredible. And so Wayne, you know, like I said, I met him finally. We became friends. When I was launching my first haunted house in Lincoln, Nebraska, he was in Omaha, Nebraska. I was in Lincoln. I was having problems with this animatronic skeleton in my first greeting room that was going to give the rules. Wayne was opening the next day. I was opening the next day. Wayne gets in his car, drives an hour to me, and says, Jason, I've been running for years and years. We're going to open just fine, but I want to make sure you get open.
Wow,
he came down and did that. And I'm like, oh my God, that's incredible. So I'm like, Jesus. So yeah, he was incredible. He taught me a ton. And, you know, and I just, hearing how much passion he had about this project, all of his projects, I'm like, this is what I want to do, and I want to create it, and I want to go in his footsteps and create something amazing. And
did he come to Vegas to see your stuff? Did he get to experience any of it?
I think we came through, and he walked a little bit through Fright Dome one year when it wasn't open, when it was under construction. That's about it. But I always sent him pictures and videos and stuff. Cool. And he was, you know, he's like, oh my God, you know, because his haunted house was probably, I don't know, 3,000-4,000 square feet, 5,000 square feet at the most. And he was so proud. He's like, oh my God, I remember we were doing this. Because my original one was an old lightning rod manufacturing plant. But someone that's got the character to do that and help you out, that's a good person. You know, that would actually, you know, knowing you open, putting down, making sure you get open, and that's just a good person. That's the type I am. I tell people this all the time. I was telling them today, it's like, just be a good person. That's half the battle too. Like, just be nice to people, be a good person. And that's something I pride myself in. I always make sure my managers understand that. If you're dealing with a customer's concern, be nice. You know, these people are on vacation. Sometimes things change, times change. Don't approach them in a negative fashion. Oh, I'm so sorry you missed your reservation. But you know what? Let's figure out how we can make this right. Make it right. They're spending their good money with us. Things happen. We'll figure it out. You know, that's how you have to approach it. Now, of course, you don't get taken advantage by customers. We get that too. It's Vegas. It happens. But just be nice to people. And then, you know, you go so far with that. I'm always nice to everybody. Like, and we don't get taken advantage of. Like, what's the old saying? Don't take my kindness for weakness either. Because, you know, you put me in a corner. I'm a rattlesnake. But
listen, it's great to have. I love the Midwestern values and all that stuff that you've, you know, brought and carried over here to Las Vegas. Real quickly, before we wrap up, so you came here from being with. I mean, listen, it's great to be. I'm sure you're having a great time, but you were with Ana de Armas, I believe, before this, right?
She came down and checked out the John Wick Experience.
Okay,
and she's incredible, and she's going to be in the new movie. She's starring
in Ballerina,
which I've only seen the trailer, but it looks really good. I'm sure it's amazing.
Chad is producing it as well, the guy who directs all the John Wick movies. It's part of the John Wick universe. So she's
Keanu. It looks like Keanu's in it. You know, as I saw him on the trailer, so he's obviously in it. I don't know how much, but which is awesome as well too. But it looks like such a good movie. I don't want to wait till June. I'm like, seriously? I'm like,
Jason Egan can't even see it beforehand?
I probably could, but I want to see it in a theater, how it's properly meant to be seen, because
Do you really? Yeah.
Yeah, I really do, because I love the theater. I go to the theater every week, and I think it's really important for people to support these theaters too, because it's a totally different experience than watching a screener on a computer screen or even my television
I guess
at home.
so. I'm just
especially that movie.
Dude,
oh
if I could get Ballerina beforehand, I'd be in a 7-Eleven parking lot watching it on my cell phone. I don't care. But let me just ask you this, because I don't know your situation. I'm a single guy. Ana de Armas. I mean, this woman. Do you even shoot your shot with her when
No,
she...
I have a amazing girlfriend at home, so I don't shoot my shot with her.
Okay.
But yeah, I am, and I'm professional. You know what I mean? I'm so professional in all environments. You know, I just appreciate her coming down today and checking out the experience.
What did she say?
She seemed to really enjoy it. You know, so I know she did some interviews and stuff. So we'll see how that works out. But she was super nice, and she's an amazing actress, and I just can't wait to see her in this. I think she was the perfect pick for the Ballerina movie. I mean, she's
cool.
She's incredible.
She's sexy.
She's a badass.
She's a badass. She's got like all the qualities that you really want. It's a great. I can't wait to see. It's gonna be really cool, and I'm sure she put a lot of. You know, because the thing is, she's set up for success because Chad and the stunt coordinator, that whole team, they just make it. I know Keanu's like you, very detail oriented. He takes his like gun training and combat training seriously, so it shines through. There's a big difference between, you know, and there's certain guys who are built for it, like the Stathams and all that kind of stuff, but it makes a big difference, especially like in those nobody films that has the same producing staff. You know, when Saul Goodman, Bob Odenkirk is coming in to be an action star.
Great movie, by the way.
It's an incredible, but you
movie.
need to have a good supporting staff around you to make it look legit. You know,
Chad's stunt team, I had the pleasure of meeting some of them, and they are incredible. These guys are the best in the business, and so much fun. And that's obviously what Chad's doing. He's surrounding himself with good people too. I mean, and like I said, putting together, that's the thing. When you watch films, a lot of times you're like, oh, is chapter 3 or 4 as good? Part 4 of John Wick was so incredible.
That staircase
sequence.
sequence.
Oh my God. Or the scene with Killa, where they're doing the gambling. I mean, it was so incredible. I mean, Kane is an incredible character. Bill Skarsgård's so good. Dude, now I get to work with Bill Skarsgård on 2. It's like Bill Skarsgård's a part of our It attraction because he's a clown, and then he's a bad guy in John Wick 4, which is really cool. So I mean, just incredible characters, and that's, you know, like I said, that's a hard thing to do. But even Lionsgate did it again with Saw 10. I mean, I went, and that's when I did screen at Lionsgate, and I'm like, oh my God, how is the movie gonna be? And I went and screened it, and I'm like, this was
I haven't seen. Is that with Chris Rock? That
good.
one?
No, this is not. Tobin Bell is back for this one, and you know, Shawnee Smith is also back in this one, and it was so good. I'm like, you guys did incredible, and did nearly $100 million at the box office, 83% on Rotten Tomatoes for a horror film, which is unheard of. So Lionsgate really, like I said, they genuinely care. It's a smaller studio. It's not, you know, it's not as big as Disney, but they are still a multi-billion-dollar studio. But they genuinely care about their, you know, their movies, and you know, they got some, like I said, some fun stuff.
They're doing some great stuff. Listen, I'm gonna come to the John Wick Experience, Area 15. Go to johnwickexperience.com. I want to take a date. I'm probably going to try to shoot my shot with Ana de Armas and see what can happen. You know, so that would probably be my first choice. But we'll figure it out. 2 last questions for you that I want to know. 1, what's the best horror movie of all time in Jason Egan's mind? Number 1.
There's so many good ones. You know, I think...
You can only pick one, though.
Oh, if I have to pick one, you know, is what I grew up with and what I love, genuinely love. I love all of our horror partners. I have to pick 2. If you know, I would say Nightmare on Elm Street. I loved Freddy Krueger growing up. I loved him as a character. He was so incredible. I mean, just an amazing character. But you know, now I would say current time, so it's got to be 2. I would say It, you know, chapter 1 and 2.
Amazing.
Because they were like, I always tell people, they were like, and don't get me wrong, I love Saw. I mean, they're one of my favorites, but it was like an Academy Award-winning horror film.
The first one,
actors were so good. Second one, still Bill Hader. You know what I mean? You have all these incredible actors in that film. Jessica Chastain. You know, who's the guy? James McAvoy.
And Skarsgård is just sickly. He's. I mean, I was hoping, like, Nosferatu wasn't even at that level.
No,
you know?
No.
And I love Nosferatu, but I mean, he was just tremendous in it.
But just how they set the stage in chapter 2, the bridge scene and stuff. I'm like, you know, they they just hit you. And I'm like, oh my God, did that just happen? They really did this in this film? I'm like, it is so good, and how they end it, tie everything together.
Yeah,
I don't want to give it away.
it's very well done.
It's so good.
Okay, so I'll take that.
But Andy, the director, one of the best in the business.
Yeah,
I mean, Andy is incredible. Oh yeah, he came through Attraction. He's incredible. His sister, his producing partner, incredible. And they were so excited with our It Experience too. I mean, It Experience is unbelievable.
Yeah,
I mean, it's gorgeous. I mean, it is. We think it's the biggest escape experience in the world. We haven't measured it out or had Guinness come down there, but it's 31,000 square feet. It's nothing to sneeze at. That's for sure.
I mean, we were there for a whole morning, and we could have been there for like a week with all the stuff we could have done. You know.
But that's what's cool. You know, people that that I got to grow up idolizing, like we talked about the Michael Jackson story and stuff. It's like, I loved these guys, growing up. I remember when I was a kid on stage with David Copperfield, and then have the opportunity to, be friends with him. And,
Oh, you were just on stage with him as like a guest?
Yeah, I was a guest on stage in Lincoln, Nebraska, and I was worried that I was going to screw up his card trick. And of course, he had control this whole situation. It did not screw up, and I was so worried. But then we became friends later, and he's, I love working with all these guys, and it's like, all these talented people, like I said, Stevie Wonder, David Copperfield, Michael Jackson, all these incredible, talented artists. Andy, I mean, it's for them to come and compliment our stuff. It makes me feel good. That it's like, I guess we did it. If I'm wowing people like that, if Ana de Armas was excited, that when she came through, I mean, she's an incredible actress. Probably one of the most popular actresses right now. I mean, unbelievable. And that's what's exciting. I just, like I said, love working with films. I'm a big movie buff too. I love bringing these films to life because everybody gets to see them 2D on the screen, sometimes 3D, 4D, who knows. But, for them to walk through and be a part of the experience, that's what's fun. I always say to safely be a part of the experience. And unlike a movie where they can hide different things, I have to create this environment 360 degrees around you. So in my opinion, I get a harder work sometimes, because I don't have just one scene shooting one way, have a sewer scene. I've got to be 360 degrees. I can't cheat it like they can. So
no, you got you got your senses. I mean, it's crazy. But last thing, what's next? Because I'm curious, because I know you. You definitely you always have something in your mind. I know that about you. I don't know what you can reveal, what you can't reveal, but I mean, I'm so curious. What would be next? What does the next 10 years look like for Jason Egan? Because I could see so many different directions. I could see you getting into directing. I could see you, so what's next for you? What's the next challenge?
And you mentioned directing. That's funny because we have been the producers and executive producers on 2 films.
Yeah.
One starring Pedro Pascal called Blood-Sucking Bastards and The Neighbor. So that was fun. That kind of checked off my movie card. I love making films. That's fun and it's exciting, but it's going to be more attractions. To answer your question, we have a couple lined up that are already locked in, ready to go. We're in the design and development phases with them. Can't say what they are right now, but one will shock everybody because it's not my normal, routine by any means. So one is working with a very cool other studio, and it's going to be super exciting. So we're trying to diversify as much as possible to be all over the spectrum, whether that's a kids event, an action experience, a horror experience. We want to be all over the board with that stuff and really be the one-stop shop for creating these things. Well, we're teaming up with another company that we can build bigger sets with, which will be announced soon too. So, that's what we want. I want to, horror. I love horror. I've done horror in this town for 20 plus years, but Universal's coming in with the dear friends of ours coming in with their horror experience. I even told the president of Universal the other day, I'm like, I'm giving you the torch. I'm handing the torch to you. I did it for 15 years and I will help them do whatever we possibly can. If they ask for help, I'll be glad to go over there and help them out. And I'm excited that project's going to be open in August as well too. But we're taking a quick hiatus from horror, until some, but you never know. That can change real quick too. I mean, it could change quickly. But yeah, the next couple projects won't necessarily be horror. They'll be, something fun, very mainstream, exciting, and we just hope, we hope we're going to be on this trajectory for the next couple of years to get a couple attractions built a year right now. So it's just something, again, through our learning curve. We need to learn to scale faster too. If you want to be more successful with these things, that's the problem with these attractions is there's not really a problem, but they're not giant. So we can only put through so many people through a Saw attraction in a night.
Right.
So the only way to make more money without gouging your audience is by creating more attractions.
Right.
More attractions, the more money you're going to make and the more successful. And I want my team to grow with us too. I always tell them, like, let's make more things so you guys everybody can, sharing the wealth. We want them to be successful because I want everybody to be successful on the team. That's something really important too. And I think my team realizes that, that I genuinely want to take care of the team. I want them to be as successful as possible, and I want to help them out with whatever they need as well too. So, that's important. But yeah, it'll be more and more attractions, and we've got some really amazing ones in negotiation, and we got some deals inked that are going to be very exciting. And one will be open in about a year from now. And we build them fast too. I know a year sounds like a lot, but it takes a lot to put these things together. You got to negotiate the deal. You got to go through design and development. You got to build it. You got to go through permits. There's a ton of stuff to go through. It's not anybody comes to you and says they can get this done in 90 days. Well, they're not going to have the same level of detail. They're going to have some black walls up and a couple things, and that's it. So for our level of detail, it's about a year. And that's what John Wick took, is about a year. To get going. Of course, there was negotiations prior to that, but yeah, it took some time. But you can definitely tell it paid off, and people love it. You
do it the right way.
Absolutely.
Do it the right way. And listen, if your middle name was immersive, it would fit. It would make sense. A lot of people abuse it, but not Jason Immersive Egan.
It used to be entrepreneur. Everybody, they always call me the entrepreneur, and then that's that ship has sailed. So,
okay. Well, we're ready for your third act. I think this is going to be exciting. You're moving past the horror. You got a lot of great things on the docket. We can't wait to see all the future things that you put together, but you got so much for us to experience right now. I can't wait to go see the John Wick Experience. Area 15, go to johnwickexperience.com. And listen, if you're taking Ana de Armas out, you could take her through the experience, and then there's even a bar. So you could just
two bars.
You got 2 bars.
2 bars. Yeah, we have one that's got a drink package in there, so you don't even have to pay for the drink. You can get the ultimate VIP package and get a drink with it. So we have the different levels.
My producer and I, James, we're both trying. We're probably both going to try to shoot our shot with Ana.
Well, you got to show off with the drinks though. We got a drink with a bloody pencil in it and stuff. We've got another drink in our unseen bar that's served in a paper bag. So we even have fun themed drinks too. Area 15's done an amazing job with the drinks. They have a killer team. So I'm excited for everybody to see, and I'm excited for you to come down. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the Dr. Pepper. This has been fun.
Of course, the great Jason Egan Productions, really making our city way more fun, way more realistic, way more detail oriented, and he's kind of like the Jerry Seinfeld of I would say haunted houses and experiences. I would definitely say
we just got to tell Jerry that too. You never know.
Hey, that's somebody I want to meet as well.
He's awesome.
Maybe I don't know. I'd probably pick Jerry over Ana de Armas. I don't know. I got to figure that out.
Well, yeah, I saw the Weeknd perform yesterday, and I'm like, oh my God, it was so.
Oh, was he? Yeah.
He did a private thing at CinemaCon, and oh my God, what an incredible performer! You can tell just a master of his craft. I mean.
And he's very influenced by Michael Jackson as well.
So good. So good. I said hello to him. That was about it. So incredible.
Do you call him the Weeknd, or do you call him like?
His name's Abel, but I don't really know what he. I don't know if you call Lady Gaga, or I don't remember what her real name is. Stephanie, I think.
Stephanie, yeah. The Weeknd. He's got one N. It's one, I think, or one E, or so. Yeah, whatever. He does
incredible performance. That's what I love. I love the masters of their craft, and that inspires me.
Well, there you go. One day the Weeknd will be through your experiences.
I hope that'd be cool. I invite him. Yeah, that would be amazing.
There you go. All right, the great Jason Egan. Catch our full interview. Everything you've seen here is on our YouTube page, and as well on Fox 5. Make sure you catch all this great action out. Jason Egan, thank you so much for spending some time with us.
Awesome.